So heading into my summer, I was going to go work for UBS in Chicago. And for those of you who aren't familiar with investment banking, it's kind of a tough lifestyle. You work probably on average anywhere from 80 to 100 hours a week, especially in your first couple of years there and over the summer when you're an intern. So one of the fun things about it was, though, I was in Chicago. My oldest brother, was working downtown, so I got to live with him, and we lived in a studio, so we got really close. But it was really a fun time for me because he was 5 years older than me. So growing up, we were close, but it was always tough because he'd go out and play with his friends, and I really couldn't join in because I was 5 years younger, so that put me at a disadvantage. And then he was off at college for all of high school for me. But this was a really great opportunity for us to grow a lot closer because, as I said, we were in a studio, so we really had no choice. But he was just unbelievable. I mean, he was working full time. He's an accountant, but he'd still go out of his way. I wouldn't even ask, but he'd bring my clothes to the dry cleaners. I mean, he would cook for me. He was always constantly motivating me because it got tough at times with long working hours and trying to keep up with my workouts and everything. But he was always in my ear saying, "Mike, you know what, this is gonna be worth it. I promise you. In the end, you know, you're really gonna appreciate this time and everything's gonna pay off." And I'll never forget. I mean, he'd go out on weekends with me and sometimes wake up in the morning with me and go run routes against me, and just, I mean, he was amazing, and I just really appreciate everything he did for me. But kind of the typical day for me, 3 days a week, I'd try to wake up at about 6:30 and go get a run in. We lived at Lakeshore in Addison, so I'd go right across the street. There was a park, and I'd either do 110-yard sprints, which we have to do 18 of them when we come back for camp, just to make sure everyone's in shape still. Or I'd go run agilities, just try to get something in the morning, because at nights it was a lot tougher, especially not knowing my schedule for the day. So I'd do that, and as I said, I try to get those done early in the week, just because you leave until later in the week, you start to get beat up a little bit from working the long hours and everything. So if I can get them done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, that'd be the best. But if it was Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, that was fine too. I just always wanted to make sure I got the 3 days in. So after the running, I'd try to catch the bus about 8 o'clock and get into work about 8:30, 8:45. And then start the fun day of work. I'd start at probably grab lunch about noon, and then at about 6 I'd try to head out, run over to the gym, get 45 minutes in or an hour in, head back to the office and either grab dinner on the way back or order it in, and kind of camp down, hunker down for the next few hours until about anywhere from midnight to 3 in the morning or later for some nights. Not many though, luckily, but there were definitely some late nights. And then I'd head home and do all the fun all over again. But being the place where I was in Chicago was a lot of fun because I get to, as I said, run across the street from Lakeshore. And Lake Michigan it goes Lakeshore Drive, the park, and then Lake Michigan. So running was actually kind of fun for me. I remember I'd be dead from doing some of the agility workouts, but I'd look out over the water, I'd see sailboats, or I'd see people running along the lake and just people playing softball, and it made things so much better for me because I love the outdoors. So seeing that stuff, it was actually, I'd look forward to my runs, whether it was the 110-yard sprints or doing all the agility work. I'll never forget one morning when I was running over by the softball fields, and there's a golf course right over there, and I'm running, and I'm kind of dead because they were doing 110s, and I was trying to do them really, really fast. And all of a sudden I start to hear like plink, plink. Some guy was hitting golf balls and he thought it was the driving range or something. I don't know if he was aiming for me, but they came pretty close, and I'll never forget just kind of looking at the guy, just shaking my head, be like, "Well, what's going on here? Did I do something to you?" But luckily I emerged unscathed from that, so got my blessings there. But the biggest thing for me that summer was I stayed in constant communication with the guys at school because, as I said, all the scholarship guys were still at school. Just seeing kind of what they were doing. If they were doing 12 110s with 16-second rest, I tried to do 14 with 15-second or 14 seconds rest. I was always trying to get that extra little bit, and always stay ahead of them, just because I knew coming in I had to work that much harder to work onto the team. And so I left that summer feeling really good and kind of ready to make that last push. And so that's what leads to the next episode. And as I said again, remember this is for St. Baldrick's, so I hope you guys continue to watch and you continue to enjoy this, and hopefully you can also make a donation. I appreciate it, and I hope you've enjoyed this so far.